Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we go. A review on a ship you can actually purchase. So we are looking at the Tier 8 premium battleship for the Japanese tech tree, the Key. So those of you looking at this thing, oh, hang on, that looks very familiar from the bow. The lines look quite familiar. The double front turrets, the triple rear turrets. This is basically an Amagi. And the reality is that, yes, in game, as we can see here, it was a design for sort of an Amagi-ish, a further development of the Amagi class battleship design. Now, in game, as you can see, it says that this year of design was 1921. Interestingly enough, when you start going through and looking for a bit of history on the ship and starting to understand her, the dates don't tally up 100%, but we'll go into that in a little bit more detail as we go. So, in game, as we said, she is here at tier 8. We have 5 double 410mm guns of 16.1 inch. Quite a long reload, 30 seconds, but not as long as some that are in the game. We have a rack of secondaries, as we can see here, in these 4 double-mounted 100mm guns, and casemate surroundings of 140mm around the ship as well. 8 in total, 4 on either side, same with the number of turrets. This does give her quite an interesting profile. You can run the Key with a very light touch secondary style, should you wish to, as they are relatively effective, although not massive in range at 8.7. Her main batteries with 19.4 are slightly more potent. You'll normally find a Key kiting away due to the fact that you've got these 3 rear turrets with reasonable angles. As you can see, you've got a kite to be able to use the X turret here instead of the Y and the Z, purely because of its positioning. Camo that you see the Key wearing here is the Kobayashi camo, so that does give us an exceptional amount of credits, reduction in the cost of running the ship, for example. So if you have a quick look at the stats, it is a permanent camo. It is very pricey though. As you can see, it reduces 50% of the ship's post-battle service and adds 20% of the credits to the actual ship herself. So, what makes the Key stand out from any other of the premium Amagis, the Igneous Predator, the Ragnarok, against her peers, the Alabama, the Tirpitzes, the Vanguard, the Gascan, the Champagne, why would you, the Roma, sorry, as well, why would you take the Key over those? Well, she does have a rather unique ace in the tail, shall we say? As you can see, mounted here, we have a pair of triple 10-kilometer torpedoes. They do pack quite a punch. They are the Type 93 Mod 1, 17,233 max damage, 10-kilometer range though. So that's 4 kilometers more than the Bismarck. With the positioning at the tail here, you actually have interesting angles as well. Not as good as the Odin's angles, for example, where you can fire quite far forwards. They do have a more shallow angle, but stern-wise, you do have quite a reasonable angle being able to shoot back on her there. There's not much in the way of superstructure either, as you can see. There's mainly the big pagoda tower here, although not as tall as the others. A little stern tower here, and obviously the central double Y shape of the exhaust stack. That does mean that for shooting her in the broadside, although she has quite a raised prominent section here, she is actually reasonably well in terms of dealing with that. Her armor layout and her maneuverability are pretty damn good. As you can see, 31 knots. I am running the the speed flag up here as well, so she's pretty quick. Rudder shift isn't anything to shout home about, but it's good enough. Commander skill wise, as you can see, we've gone a little bit heavy on the survivability, but we have added the turret traverse speed, and we have also gone with the longer range secondaries. We've still got another 2 points to grind on this commander for another 4 points. So then we do have a decision to make. Do we go with the improved secondary aim, or do we go with fire? Fire prevention is probably going to be my chosen choice. I'm seeing a lot of people pretty much building 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and then one of these two for the final 10 points, and then adding in around. Survivability does seem to be a big factor in building battleships nowadays on the server. So that's a bit of that's what she's like in game. Import. She is yours for the princely sum. Obviously, you'll have to translate this into your own currency. But if we go to find her in the tech tree herself, as we can see, she clocks in at a hefty £37.15. She is available in the armory as well. As you can see as well, there's a special in the armory at the minute. The ESA has been launched. That's the first hybrid ship. I will be having a look at that in the future as well for you. But the key, if we can find her, she is in here somewhere. There we go. 13,200 doubloons. And obviously, if you have the corresponding token there, you can take a quarter off that price, knocking her down to circa 10,000 doubloons, give or take. Maybe a little bit cheaper, actually, as well. And for that, you get the second tier 8 battleship that has tier 8 battleship that has torpedoes. First and second being the Torps and the Odin, of course. But yeah, she's a really interesting ship. So, as always, let's do a bit of a quick dive into the history of the ship for you. So the design background of the key class was that by around 1918, the Imperial Japanese had gained approval for an 8-6 fleet of 8 battleships and 6 battle cruisers, all with them all being under 8 years old. Having the 4 large battleships, 2 Nagato and 2 Tosa class, and then the 4 Amagi battle cruisers, did put a huge financial strain on Japan. So unfortunately, they never got to fruition. However, they heard of President Woodrow's plan in 1916 to produce 10 battleships and 6 battle cruisers. The response from Japan was that they declared they were going to build the key class. So they were largely based on the preceding Amagi, as we can see, with her shape and her lines in the design, mainly for a little bit more in terms of continuity and being able to design and put production quite quickly. Because obviously, if you've already got the patterns, you've already got the mold, you've already got the shapes and everything to build these, then it makes it so much more quicker to actually say, right, let's take that and go with it. There were a couple of differences though. So the Amagis were fast. The Amagis are faster than the key, but the key has a thicker belt in historical terms. Armament is, as you see in game, the AB XYZ turret layout with 410mm guns, and initially she was actually designed to have 8 of the torpedo tubes that we have 6 of in the game, so it was 4 on either side. Why Wargaming decided not to go with that would be an interesting question that we'll have to figure out. But 8 of these torpedoes, 4 on each side, it was quite a common thing back then. Battleships with torpedoes. Obviously, in game we don't see it as much. You have the Mutsu, you have the Odin, the Torps, and the key. And that's all that comes to mind at the minute. If I've missed any, feel free to leave a mark in the comments and let us know. I've got what I think is a really nice game coming up for you to watch as well. But in the meantime, we've had a look at her. We've seen her in port. We've had a little bit of her history and how she came about. Let's go and take a look at her in battle and see how we do. So hello everybody and welcome to the replay. As you can see, we have a Bob's division of tier 8 ships. You find myself with the Quantum Twin and the famous, the amazing, the unbelievable Chaos Machine, our brother from Greece. As you can see, it is technically a tier 10 game. There are a couple of tier 10s on each team. Majority of it though is actually tier 8 and tier 9. So we're here, we're on the hotspot map. As you can see, both teams there. Mainly tier 8s on this occasion, with just a couple of tier 10s and a couple of tier 9s across both teams. We're in the domination game mode with, as you can see on the minimap, a cyclone due in as well. We're going over towards the Charlie Cap to see what we can do. Really happy with this game actually, so I'm really looking forward to actually sharing this with yourselves, as it kind of is I mean, it's not a worst case scenario game. This is actually probably one of the better case scenarios that you will find with in your tier rates. Obviously the perfect scenario is ourselves as the only tier rates and everything else tier 6 and 7. But you know, it's not fair to show you a ship in that way. What you want to see is, you want to see where it's kind of not optimal not optimal matchmaking, but kind of to give you a feeling of how she actually performs in game. So we're all heading over to the Charlie Cap. Quantum's behind me with Chaos going slightly out wide with the Drake, the Marco Polo, and our Uzimo. Our Shimakaze, he's going for B in the middle, which, to be fair, there's no CV. He's the stealthiest DD in the game. It's not a bad call, but he has been beaten there, and he requests support in the middle. Obviously, open water gunboat. He's expecting myself and Quantum to come and support him in our tier 8s in an open water fight where there is 5 battleships, and he's saying great support there. With the greatest of respect to him, I don't know what's going through his head, but it's not the smart thing for us to do. And obviously, paying attention, looking at the mini map, that's not the right thing. He's given some good advice there by another member of the team there, saying, look, run, don't stay there, there are other caps for you to contest. But you know, he chooses not to do that. We are hard spotted by the Hyatt. Again, the Hyatt is a ship you don't see very often. A tier 10 combination, a tier 10 Japanese destroyer. Kind of I've always said it's the worst parts of the Shimmer and the worst parts of the Haragumo as well. But, you know, you'll see more. Shots out there on the Buffalo giving us a nice opening salvo of 12.4k with just 3 penetrations from these guns. As you saw, not brilliant dispersion, but we're okay. Again, the Shimakaze clicking and spamming the map. You know, there's nothing wrong with what he's trying to do, but unfortunately he should take it on his own account and, you know, take it on board. Again, not criticising him at all. It's not a bad move in the Shimmer, but he should be well. But he shouldn't expect the team to follow him and just, you know, blindly follow into open water to be crossfired. There's an IJN actually contesting the sea cap. So the IJN is another tier 8 premium. Based on it's the Pan-Asian version of the Admiral Kutyov. It has 13.5 kilometer deep water torpedoes, which are pretty dangerous to any of the battleships and cruisers in the game, coupled with some really nice 152mm guns and a hydroacoustic search in the case of the IJN. We have a Torp back there as well, a Buffalo, and a Vladivostok. We've taken a reasonable amount of damage. We've burnt a repair party, and we're just waiting for our damage con to come off cooldown. As you see, when we put fighters up, we actually have 2 fighters in the squad from this, so when it goes up, it is actually 2. Big hit to the IJN there from our Uzimo on the other flank over there near Chaos. I decided I'm going to push forward a little bit more. The IJN starts to push forward, coming onto the corner, all guns loaded, pull the trigger, and the IJN disappears there in a double pen, double citadel kill. Which jingles confirms to us we've actually killed the destroyer. Thanks, boss. We pull a hard right now, so we don't engage the turrets, and we start to traverse the turrets over to the other side. We have a look with the torpedoes to see if we're going to be able to catch any shots into the actual turrets, but kind of not going to be able to because of the wreck of the IJN there. I do find some for that gap. I'm kind of thinking, will the Buffalo push that corner as he backed off? As we can see, he's just been spotted, so he's actually backing off, so those torpedoes are going to catch no joy. As you can see, the secondaries opened up at 8.4 kilometers there on the Buffalo. They're not particularly special or anything. That's the torpedoes coming from Quantum, who's pushed in with us. He is going to take quite a bit of damage from the Tirpitz making this push, but the Tirpitz has turned away thanks to him doing that. We're going to casually just move our way forward. We are hard spotted from the Hyatt in the middle, but the only thing that can really shoot us is the Hyatt. The Uzimo has made a really nice push there, as you can see, into the Tirpitz. The Shimmer has been sunk, so we're waiting on the Shimmer to rage. But he doesn't, which is fair play to him. He's not done. He's left the game quite early on. Our Marco Polo is in the cap with us as well. I start to pull forward. Now, it's quite a narrow window we're going to have to shoot on here, so I'm waiting for that white hail marker that you see so that I can pull the trigger. We get a gap and about 3 or 4 shells get through. 2 overpens. Not a lot of damage, but hey, it's better than a kick in the teeth. We're just waiting for the guns to reload now. Keeping an eye on the location for that Hyatt and anything else. Secondaries are going to open up briefly for some shots out onto the Tirpitz. And he's obviously opening up back to us as well.
There's a slim chance we may actually win this.
Going to wait for all of the turrets to do that. We are bouncing along the bottom of the seabed here. So, not great, but then again, not bad either for us. The Tirpitz is healing, but we do get some nice solid hits there. 3 overpens and a pen. We're just waiting for the reload again now. Tirpitz has managed to burn our Izimo down, who made a really good push on that side. Guns loaded. And we're going to carry on pushing now, looking for the Hyatt. As we come around the corner, we're selecting for our secondaries. Our Worcester manages to take the kill, but unfortunately, he does go down to the torpedoes from the Hyatt. We carry on pushing towards the middle now. So as you can see, we're actually in the thunderstorm at this point. Visibility is going to get reduced. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more from the visibility side of things, and from the way the storm and the wind blows through on here. I think we all would prefer that, wouldn't we? But we carry on. So there's myself and Chaos pushing into Bravo Cap to take that. You can see there's a Stalingrad and an Iowa heading for A, with a Vento and an Albemarle pushing around the other side. So, going to try and grab this cap. Chaos is not looking too good on the health situation, so ideally we need to be taking the strain from him. But, you know, hopefully we're going to get this cap. As soon as we get this cap, we're all good. There we go. We now have 2 caps. Points are going to tick in a lot quicker. I'm having a look for the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad is edging forward nice and slowly. We take our time. We set up the shots. Some shots going in there from Chaos.
We're winning. Try not to do anything stupid.
We didn't get hold of the Stalingrad and ring his bell, unfortunately. He has got the Iowa right next to him. I'm waiting for the reload. I'm going to send some torpedoes because, you know, you never know. He might slow down. Chaos unfortunately gets taken down by the Stalingrad. We get a fire with our secondaries on whatever they just hit. The Stalingrad is slowing down, so we fire straight into his broadside, and a triple Citadel takes out the Stalingrad. We do take a big hit though from the Iowa, followed by another big hit. Those big 16s on the Iowas do really hurt. I start to pull a turn away. I can see behind us I've got a Marco Polo in support, a Drake, and I've got Quant. I'm looking down this gap here because I'm expecting the Albemarle and the Vento to be pushing around that side. I can see the Vento there, so that tells me that he's there, and the Albemarle as well. I'm going to swing back around. I'm hoping that the Iowa pushes out. I do get some shots off here. They managed to clear the edge, but unfortunately not as much as I was hoping to. Only 2 penetrations through his bow. But we do get a defend badge, which is good. We've got a fire ticking that's taking our damage up, now past 110k and still climbing. The Iowa has actually stopped on there. I'm looking at the Albemarle now, and then we spot the Vento coming round the corner. We keep our focus on the Albemarle though, hoping to be able to take him out of the game. Shots out of to clear the ridge just to get some shots in there. Not massive amounts, but a pen and some more pens. About 5k does us okay. We're letting the secondaries just focus on whichever ship they want. And I do make a bit of a mistake here. I do push in against these 2 ships. Now these 2 ships are clearly working together. So this is a bit of a misplay on my part. As you can see, the guy in the chat is saying, yo, ram him, go for the ram, go for the ram, go for the ram. And in hindsight, I probably should have gone for the ram here, rather than not going for the ram. Hydro from the Albemarle should tell us that he's about to pop round that corner, because it's a short range hydro. As you can see, my guns are loading. I'm panic turning into him. I put the heel on. I'm turning to get the torpedoes off.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
I've turned into the torpedoes. I hit the repair. We take some big hits. I re-aim the torpedoes at the Ventro, and then I try and get the guns off onto the Albemarle, but I can't get them round in time. We get 3 torpedoes into the Ventro.
Fire, fire, fire.
The shots go a while because we're not aimed at him, and unfortunately we make a big mistake there. We're not going to get any more shots. We're not going to get the heal or anything. 169k, 440k. I have a bit of a conversation in chat now with the guy in the Worcester there, saying why didn't you ram him? And in hindsight, ramming would have been the right call to do. Instead, I thought I'd try and take him out. Quant has just gone down there to the Vento and the Albemarle, but we've got most of the caps. We've got 2 guys left. We're in a good position. We've got a big point lead. I think we're going to be okay. And as it turns out, we do actually end up winning this game. So we're going to go to the post-game results for you all, and then we'll have a bit of a debrief about the game. Let's move to that, guys. So, hey, hello, and so there you go. As you can see, we did get a victory there. 844,161 credits, 13,840 XP, with 2,941 actual XP, coupled with the Confederate, 169,441 damage, 44 shots with the main batteries, 3 torpedoes. We shot down a plane. We sunk 2. We got 4 fires, 5 citadels, 5 defenses, 2 assists, 93 secondary hits, and we did spot somebody as well. Overall, pretty good game, I think, in the key. It is a bit pricey. Obviously, it's a tier 8 battleship. They're never going to be cheap, but as it goes, if you're enjoying playing the Amagi, if you're liking the feel of the mid-tier Japanese battleships, and you're looking for a fun crew trainer with something a little bit different, the key will definitely be up there for you. The fact that it has torpedoes in a battleship is something quite rare, obviously, and gives it that extra bit of utility. If you like kiting ships where you get to, where you can push in, then kite away to actually pull the enemy away and do damage that way, she's perfectly set up to do that with those double rear turrets and the torpedoes in the tail. She's been in the game for quite a while, so you never know with Wargaming the way they're saying that, we want to remove it due to popularity, etc. She might be next on the list, she might not. your guess is as good as mine. But as always, I've hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have and you've got this far, I'd really appreciate if you left a comment, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. For those of you who don't know, I'm looking to try and grow my YouTube channel and build on it. I'm going to schedule videos every Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock GMT. They go live, and we are going to look to do a giveaway every 1,000 subscribers up to 5k of 180 days of World of Warships premium time for you. So if you want to help us get there, really would appreciate that support. It would be kind of you. As always, enjoy the other stat pictures that come through that will give you the breakdown. Our base XP for this game is actually pretty monster at 2.6k, so we've got that. The detail report and the credit breakdown will be following as always. Thanks guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. See you all soon.